on the platform, but there were 5 others. Well, I can't count. 4 women and 4 men. Equal opportunity. And I came out at UCD publicly in 1974. And it was reported in all the papers, and it disgraced my family and disgraced my mother and shocked my neighbours. And I have the scars to prove what we went through. But my mother and my family educated themselves, and they accepted me and loved my... They loved my beautiful partners, and I want to thank the women who are not here, who loved me and loved my mother and made it possible for me to be here. And several of them were not Irish, and so they weren't ashamed to be seen with me, because many people were ashamed to be seen with me because it would be said I was outing them, even to see me. So, this poem I wasn't expecting to read here to this kind of crowd. It's a long one. It tells the story of our journey. And it's a 45-year journey. And many of us here are a little tired of some of the revisionism, because sometimes it all started in the late 90s. Sometimes it started the early 90s, sometimes it started in the 80s, but it started in 1973. And I have been writing about, among other things, because there are some other things, but I have been writing about lesbian love since 1982. This poem is called The 40-Year March, and it tells the story of our journey. It begins with the reason we all did it in the first place, then it goes through the hard times, then through the struggle, and back to celebration. So as I get near the end, it actually would be good with a bodhrán, with a drum, but maybe somebody could clap. Okay, I'm starting now, and I'm going to read slowly and then more quickly. The 40-Year March. It was love that brought me here. The love of a woman's face, the white silk of her glance, the black startled eyes, the seductive stride, the amorous voice, the first touch, lapse into sense, that gaze taking hold of me. It was love that carried me here. What else? The love of a woman's mind, the dazzle of rhetoric, her valor and wit, her joyous itinerant soul. It was love that brought me here, sweet, guileful sister of pleasure, the transfiguring power of desire, an enchanting circle we wove around, the insults and the jeers, the ugly names that never had anything to do with us. We heard the baying mob at the gate, how could we not? The stone through the window, the glass cascading, we sensed the knife at our throat. But nothing they hissed or whispered left any mark on our rhapsodic eros, until you came home one summer's day, your smile bleeding, your hair torn out. We remember it all, the repulsion, the scorn, decent people turning their decent back, neighbours crossing the street at the sight, who liked you for years, and then the recoil. Oh my God, did you see? How does her poor mother cope? We held hands in the park, they spat at our feet. We kissed in a bar on your birthday, they flung us out on the road. Perverts, bastards, whores, disgusting, unnatural queers. We remember it all, we bear the scars, the bully's fist, his snarl. But the worst of it by far, shunned by our own flesh and blood, our mothers in tears, our fathers barring the door. So many fell by the trackside, so many didn't come through. The drugs, the drink, the suicides, the waste, the hidden secretive lives and deaths. The prayers at the grave mouth when nobody came. Their mothers in tears, their fathers barring the door. But it was love that brought us here. The white silk of a glance, quick to joy, to surprise, the rapture of senses, the transfiguring heat of desire. So we screamed the sky down. Enough is enough. Basta, fini, the finale, the end, the finish, full stop. Enough is enough. No more appeasement, concealment or guilt. We ripped the rotten coat of lies and cover stories and threw it in the gutter. We turned the pages wide to glory, the annals of a legendary epoch. We studied our Romans, knew our Greeks. We reveled in Renaissance, the first Italian, the second ours. The banished poets, the artists, dreamers. We repatriated. We had our pantheon, we drew their image on our banners. We marched through the ravaging streets and called out our name in salute. One by one we counted out our laureates: Wilde, Oscar, Ross and Somerville, Casement, Roger, O'Brien, Kate, Lynn, Kathleen, Gore, Booth, Nick, Learmore, Hilton, and the numberless multitude whose hidden fame we uncovered, the visionaries, revolutionaries, the brave and the bold. Over our shoulders we wrapped the cape of rainbow colours and strutted our fabled talents. For had not the world always known, the oh-so-cool cosmopolitan crowd claimed the best heroes, the athletes, the best songs, the poems, the best books, the cities, the drama, the bars, the players, the best lovers, the sexiest sex. We strolled brazen through the boulevards of our town, through the drunken sprawl of its comedy, its tight-nosed shame, its rank respectability, past the lecherous pulpit, its heavy gang, the twists and turns of its psyche, in dank alleyways of history, past the stench of church, of choir, of confessional. 100 of us demonstrated, then 2, then 3, through a city still muttering of cunning, cute whores, lies and exile. Through daylight prudery, on nights of sulphur, we paraded hearts high, chanting our pride in our revered dead, until we came at last by determined surprise, a century late, 5,000 strong as one, all at once, out in the open, to radiant halls, lush pasture, cheering galleries, to revelry, to home, the half-remembered sky of inherited dream, of insurgence and literary splendor, and that first fine elation, passion uncensored, passion uncensored. Full-throated, we roared out our triumph, flags raised high to the dispersing cloud, our voices higher in the rebel's sensuous embrace. Exultance flared as new. An old euphoria broke ground. Our rainbow scars flamed the air and branded it. We are the lovers they warned us about. Our bodies, ourselves, our truths. We remember everything and will not forget. We would do it all over again, would we not? To be proud, to be here, to be queer, to be citizens, to be outrageous. out reaching out, shining out, skirting, out riding, outsmarting, outstretching, outstripping, out-topping, outwitting, outweighting, out. We would do it all over again, wouldn't we? It was passion that bore us to this historic, uncharted ground. Love for a daring, extravagant crowd. It was ardour that carried me to this place, the transfiguring power of desire, love for a noted woman's face, the white silk of a glance, those black startled eyes, the amorous voice, the seductive stride. I remember it all, the first look, touch, lapse into sense, her mind taking hold of me. It was love that carried me here to this hour of grace, and love it is that detains me. What else?